What's happening, Hamilton?
Hi, guys.
So have you guys noticed the weather, like when you came here today?
Can you tell the sweater, like the jacket I'm wearing?
My chainsaw fingers twitching in this weather.
Did you guys bring this weather for us? Because like, yeah.
No, yesterday it was like about 90 degrees in LA.
I don't think it ever gets to 90 degrees here ever. So that's.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit of Sharknado. When you guys signed on for it, like you signed the contracts, did you expect any of this to happen? Like
You can't possibly expect. You can always hope, but the attention that this movie has drawn, and the fact that it had over 2 billion Twitter impressions, the fact that there's going to be a Sharknado 4. Yeah. I want you all to take out your phones, go to Twitter or Instagram, follow Tara, follow me, and hashtag April Lives, because I personally think that that just propels the story. Okay, back. What was the question again?
Did you guys expect when signing the contract?
Hello.
When signing the contracts, did you expect this kind of momentum and craziness of the Sharknado?
Yeah, just I guess going into.
We had no idea it was going to be what it was. We really thought like, all right, we're doing this little movie for sci-fi, and it's just going to come and go. And then what happened? We were just like, is this really happening? It was crazy. And originally it wasn't called Sharknado. It was called Dark Skies. So we were like, okay, that's better. Like Sharknado sounded ridiculous. And like the fourth day of shooting, they told me and Ian that they were gonna call it Sharknado. I'm like, no, don't do that. And it actually really worked out for us. So that's it.
So being that it's kind of been a trend the past couple of years, there being some kind of creature features kind of making a resurgence. Is there anything post Sharknado that you'd be willing to maybe throw some chainsaw arms on for, like fight maybe, I don't know, a giant squid or something like that?
Well, I'm pitching Frog Apocalypse now. I think the chainsaw's become very iconic for this movie. So to carry it into the next one would just be stepping on the toes of something that's stands by itself.
And something I noticed is a parallel to sort of the Evil Dead, where you guys, when you made the first one, it seemed a little bit more of a more serious approach to the filming and the writing. But then the second and third one especially, I just finished watching the third one last night, and it is amazing. Like it's such a fun ride through the entire thing. So is it something like conscious, seeing kind of how Evil Dead specifically evolved from a serious horror movie to sort of a campy, knows what it is sort of movie? Was that something you guys had in mind? Or?
I think we always knew it was campy. I mean, that always sharks flying out of the sky in Beverly Hills on the 405, like jumping through like the windows of the house. I mean, we definitely knew that this was outrageous. But the thing is why I think what makes it funny is that we play it straight. I mean, if we were playing it like comedians or laughing at it on top of what was happening, it wouldn't be funny. So what makes it funny is that we're dead serious, and then you see how ridiculous the situation we're in, and I think that's what gives it its humor.
Now, Tara, I had mentioned that there's a poll online to see whether you should live or die in the next film.
April, live or die. Tara's going to go on for quite some time.
Well, yeah,
clearly.
So when that poll came out, or that was coming up, how did you feel, and what would you push for? Do you want to live or do you want to die?
Obviously, I want to live.
So hashtag lives, okay?
Yeah. Hashtag April Lives. Something I was actually really struck by last night. I was sitting through, like I've watched the first one quite a few times, and the second one, and now as I'm a vegan and I'm all about animal rights, but I really enjoyed all the creative ways that you guys took care of the sharks and the impending Sharknados. Did you guys have any creative input on any sort of like hilarious ways that you guys would be attacked by sharks, or maybe Frankie Muniz getting his limbs systematically eaten?
Well, that was, Frankie's demise was really all laid out in the script. A lot of what happens in filming these movies is extemporaneous because we really never know exactly where we're going to be, or if there's going to be some creative change because there's a new guest star that shows up, and all of a sudden I'm standing in front of Chad Ochocinco. You never know, so you have to. It has to be fluid. When we shot Sharknado 2, as it was written in the script, there's sharks flying out of the sky, and Finn slices a shark in half. So it was really left to me to determine what the choreography could be. And the chainsaw for Sharknado 2 was a timber saw. That sucker is like 45 pounds. And they gave it to me, and I asked where the plastic one was. Where's the prop? They're like, there is no prop. This is the real chainsaw. I said, no, it's a real chainsaw, but it's so heavy, I couldn't swing it like a sword. So on top of that, I decided to just leverage it against my body, and knowing that the visual effects artists would know what I'm doing. You know, I leaned back, I turned my head, and it turned out to be a no-look behind-the-back shark fillet. They just had the shark fly right through it and split it in half.
Now, you had mentioned Frankie Muniz. Is there a guest or an actor or celebrity you guys would love to see in Sharknado survive or maybe die in the Sharknado?
4 specifically.
I'm a big Star Trek fan, and Nichelle is walking around here somewhere. She's over there, so I said, Nichelle, any chance you might want to be in Sharknado for? Her agent was on me so fast. Yes, absolutely, here's our card. So, you know, it's incredible. These comic events, these are just fantastic opportunities to meet people. Not long ago, I was sitting next to Adam West and Burt Ward, and I asked them the same question. They're like, absolutely. So, you know, I'll throw their names in the pool. I mean, could you see Batman and Robin being security guards? How funny is that? So, you know, that's the nature of these films. You never know who's going to show up. I was pretty excited to work with Judd Hirsch as my taxi driver. David Hasselhoff playing my father. Bo Derek. Oh my gosh.
Bo Derek playing my mom was probably like the coolest thing ever.
Tara, specifically, I was going through and just sort of remembering some of the stuff that I'd seen you through in the years, and you really were in almost everything that I grew up watching, like in my like high school days. So like American Pie, The Big Lebowski, which is one of my favorite movies ever, and you know, like Cruel Intentions. Most actors are lucky if they get one role that is like in a movie or a franchise that gains like a cult status. You're on 3 or 4 now. Is there anything you want to speak to about that? Like, is it something that I mean, you have like a sense for, like?
I mean, we never knew like the American Pie franchises and like Van Wilder and all the Legends, Cruel Intentions, Big Lebowski, all of them. You never know like what movie is going to work or be a hit or not. I mean, you can only hope for what it is. And then these films turned out to be cult films. And then we did Sharknado, which I never ever thought it was going to be like a cult film, never mind going on its fourth. But I think it's crazy. It's just great to be a part of, and you know, somehow these movies that I get into turn out to be cult films. So who knows what the next one is?
Which now we have to ask the question you probably get asked a lot: American Pie 5. Would you like to make it, and would you have little American Pie 5 babies?
Everyone asks me about American Pie 5. I mean, there is right now no talks of it, but it's American Pie. So I mean, the only thing that I've heard, if it happens, it would be that we have another reunion and it's in Vegas. So I guess we'll see.
Now, Ian, you've actually directed some films and short films yourself, right? And recently also, and you've shot an episode of Defiance in Toronto. And also in Toronto, a fellow co-star of yours from 90210, Jason Priestley, is directing some Saving Hope episodes and all that. Would you ever like to collaborate with him and maybe work with him on set of Saving Hope, or maybe work on film together with him?
Any chance to work with Jason again would be welcomed. He's the greatest guy. My former castmates from 90210, I'm still very close with all of them. And security. Yeah, so I would love to work with them again. We're still very good friends, so why not?
Now, is there any kind of maybe like a film though you'd like to direct or anything? Like just because you've directed some stuff, right?
You know, it's really not on the in my focus right now. My passions lie elsewhere. You know, in front of the camera mostly, producing. I'm involved in other businesses. I started a clothing line called Chainsaw. Where'd I get that idea, huh? You can check it out at chainsawbrands.com. Some great clothing. Working on a travel website called celebrityhideaways.com. My head has exploded. After I did Celebrity Apprentice, you know, I learned a lot about myself. ebkids.org. Just wanted to say that. EB, epidermolysis bullosa, horrible disease. That's what I was fighting for. But I learned a lot about myself, that I was capable in a business environment, and I never really sought to do any of that. So I figured, why am I going to do it for them? Why don't I do something for my family? So started some other businesses that I'm pretty passionate about.
So I can't pitch you to direct Sharknado 4?
You know, Anthony C. Ferrante is such a genius. You know, he works with such a small budget and makes epic moments that have global impact. I'm not going to follow that lead, ever.
Actually, another one, you've actually done animation voice work as well.
Yes.
Biker Mice from Mars.
Yeah, there's somebody walking around as my character. Is he here?
I know.
Where's Vinny?
Yeah, I saw him.
Ow! Ride free, citizen. Oh, I think I hurt myself.
And Mighty Ducks, Fat Man.
Yeah, that's great fun because you can just roll out of bed and you have a script in front of you. Just really very little prep.
So I think we're going to take some questions here on the side.
Any questions out there?
Yes. If I can just get you to line up over here, I'll come down with the mic. And what's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Natalie. I'm from Cambridge, Ontario. My question is for Ian. Your experience with Donald Trump from The Apprentice. What can you tell us more about that?
Donald Trump is an incredible man. He is very capable of doing things he puts his mind to. He's an unbelievable manager, and he can delegate like no one else can. He's really done incredible things for Manhattan. And you know, now that he's running for the office of the President of the United States, you know, it remains to be seen. I think he's very capable, but I'm going to reserve my vote until I hear from all of the people that are running, not just Republican, but also for Democrat, because I don't really consider myself one or the other. I just want the best guy for the job. And I think that's what our country needs. So, you know, if it's him, so be it. I think another 4 years of him couldn't be any worse than what we've experienced in the last 8 years. So, time will tell. But I respect Donald Trump. I don't always agree with the things that he says, but I respect his accomplishments.
Hi, how are you guys? It's nice to see you guys both here. This question is for Ryan as well. Since you played Steve Sanders for so long on Beverly Hills 90210, is there any storylines that you wish they had explored further with Steve?
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I would have liked to have gone back and give the legacy key to some freshman. Do you remember that storyline where Steve had the key to the school and he snuck in and stole all the tests and, you know, was very Steve? Well, I think that was something that needed to be continued. When they approached me for the 90210 reboot, and I suggested that storyline and they weren't interested, I passed. I just didn't want to go back to drive a Corvette. It just didn't make sense to me.
Thank you.
Thank you. That'll be $5. Hello, welcome to the Comic-Con. It's so amazing. We're down. Tara and I are downstairs, by the way. You can come say hello after this.
We got Captain America here.
Stargirl.
Oh, I'm sorry, Stargirl.
Don't get it twisted, buddy. She will take you out.
What are you most afraid of?
Who's the question?
It was for you, Ian. It's what are you most afraid of?
I'm afraid of the dark, and I'm afraid of unicorns. And the boogeyman that sleeps under my bed. Yeah.
My question's for Tara. If you could pick any reality show, what one would you pick? To be on.
Talking to the mic, Tara.
I'm looking for help. The Apprentice with Ian.
This is for Ian. My fiance Sarah is at work right now, but she just wanted to say hi to Steve Sanders.
Well, I'll tell him you said so. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
And here's Marty McFly.
Hi Ian, hi Tara.
Hello.
I am a huge 90210 fan, Steve Sanders. I was just wondering what your favorite episode was.
My favorite episode was probably the first season when Steve's Corvette got stolen.
Why?
Because I got to make out with Julie McCullough, and she was so hot right off the plate. Here's a Playboy.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry guys, no question, just saying Ian, like Legend of Awesomeness, best ever.
Well, thanks. Appreciate that.
That was cool.
Legend of Awesomeness
Best
Maximus.
ever for freaking Van Wilder. Loved it. That's
National
all I-
Lampoon does a good job with their movies. We've both been very lucky to work with them. And my name's Ian, by the way.
Oh, sorry, brother.
Oh, it's okay. I've been called worse.
Okay, this question's for Ryan. Do you like better to be Naruto or Sharknado?
I'm sorry, we didn't hear you.
What did you like doing better, Naruto or Sharknado?
Well, you know, as a journeyman actor, I look for interesting characters and ways to challenge myself doing things that I haven't done before. So I appreciated both of those shows for different reasons. I'm grateful to be a part of both of them.
Okay.
Hulk Hogan, anything? No, that's you, buddy. You touched me. I thought it was Hulk Hogan.
I like Defiance.
Defiance. Does anyone else have any questions? All right. I don't know. He's asked me about Defiance. Do you guys watch Defiance? It's filmed up here in Toronto. I don't know that they got picked up for another season. Did it?
Yeah.
But they're going to have to answer where I went. And my character was pretty pivotal for that one episode. It was a former boyfriend, the lead character, and she left with him only to return without him. So where is he?
Okay.
Who knows?
We have another question over here, beside you.
Hi. My name is Caroline. I'm actually from the Great White North in Yellowknife, so came in to say hi. During the 90210 season, you had some good times, you had some rough times with your filming, and there was a...
Did you watch the unauthorized movie already? Do you know something I don't? Okay, I had some good times and some bad times.
Well,
where are you going with this?
How have you taken those experiences, both the good times and the bad times, and applied it to your career now?
That reminds me of a song.
Sing it.
You know, with all life experiences, you experience them and let them go and hopefully learn lessons. I'm not sure what I learned from Steve Sanders. I think I always knew personally better than he did, but I did have the opportunity to live vicariously through his exploits, but never really having to pay the price for them was always nice. So what did I learn? Save my money, be appreciative.
I was thinking more of the time that I think it was reported that you trashed your dressing room and
Well, now.
Take Back the Night sort of one episode.
Yeah.
So that experience.
I wonder if they're going to highlight that in that unauthorized movie. Yeah, like we worked on in the early years. I never really had many substantive storylines. The first one I got, Steve was accused of raping someone. And of course, Steve, he didn't do that. So, but there was a lot of great moments in the script, and I worked really hard, and I workshopped my stuff with, and they cut all of it out. And I walked in the next day after it aired. I was so pissed off that they didn't have enough respect to at least tell me what they were doing. After I worked so hard on it that I tore apart my dressing room. There was a Ziering that day. No.
Definitely doesn't trash dressing rooms, I can promise.
Thank you.
We got one here.
This is a question for both of you guys. Why did you become an actor?
Why did you guys become actors?
Because it's something I love to do, but I remember watching, you probably don't know, her name is, have you ever seen the movie E.T.? Well, there's Drew Barrymore was in E.T., and I remember watching her and saying, I wanted to do that. So that's where it came from there.
When I was young, I had a learning disability called dyslexia. And I remember when we were all learning to read, having to read out loud in our reading group caused me a lot of anxiety. So I would crack jokes just to change the focus. I got a lot of great feedback from my classmates by just telling jokes. So it kind of made me the class clown, but that kind of propelled me into a career of performance where I could not compete scholastically when I was young. I was able to turn the focus and even the playing field with things that I could do with my hands, artwork, song, dance, anything presentational. And though I've been able to overcome that reading disability, it still propelled me into wanting to be an actor. So from 4 years till I was 12, I was always in school plays because those are areas where I could excel in. And then at 12 years old, I started acting professionally. One day I'll get it right. I've been doing it for the last 39 years, and with all the success I have had, I sit here before you today, unemployed. So that's just the nature of the career I've chosen. Thank you for your question.
We just have a few more here. We got just a couple minutes left. And here we go.
Hi, I'm Jeff from Brantford. Tara, you look beautiful. Hope the weather's not too cold for you. Anyway, I got two questions. One for Ian. My son was downstairs. He got your autograph. He's very tongue-tied. He wanted to know how you were able to cut that shark in half on the taxi cab without getting any blood on you. It's him sitting in third row in the green shirt. The question for both of you is, who do you think has been the most influential person to affect you both personally and within the realm of the acting and the screenplays and all of this?
Well, I'm very ashamed to be in a movie that never used its special effects budget to its fullest. The fact that I can saw through a shark and never have any blood sprayed on me is a little embarrassing, especially when a 10-year-old kid points it out. Dude, where's the blood? Security, another one. My formative years were mostly influenced by television and watching Lost in Space and seeing Billy Mummy, Will Robinson, was really what propelled me into wanting to do that, Mom. I want to do that.
Probably the biggest person that influenced me, that really, I guess, launched my career would be the Coen brothers and The Big Lebowski. So, and also another director that I really learned a lot from was Robert Altman and Dr. G and the Women. And Richard Gere, he was like one of the biggest stars I worked with. And he was such a nice man. And I remember being so nervous first working with him that they all just taught me so much. And I think I learned from some of the best in the beginning of my career.
All right, guys, let's give it up for Ian and Tara.
Hey, thanks so much, everybody. Appreciate it.
Bye, everyone. See you downstairs.